Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our latest lunchtime live. So we've got something a little bit kind of different for you today. You might be able to tell by my Christmas jumper, which I've put on specially for this afternoon. But we've obviously got a bit of a Christmas theme this afternoon, and we're talking about a new project that we've developed for the next month, which is called Give Leeds. So I'm Rob from Zero Waste Leeds. I'm joined by Gill, who's co-director at Zero Waste Leeds. As well. Hello, Gill.
Hi there. Yeah, I think you might have to explain that Christmas jumper, Rob. Why have you got a mask?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is my Christmas jumper. I'm not sponsored by any breweries, but I'm always open for any gifts if anyone wants to send them through. but my my wife's family are from Burton-on-Trent, and if anybody knows their beer, Marston's is a really famous brewery in Burton-on-Trent. And last Christmas, we were in a charity shop in Burton-on-Trent, and I spotted this Christmas jumper in the St. Charles Hospice charity shop, and I just had to have it. So you can imagine if you go into a pub, not that we can do it this year, but going into a pub in Burton-on-Trent with a Marston's Brewery Christmas jumper.
Might get a free pint, Rob.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah. So, but you've got a bit of a Christmas jumper story as well, Gill.
Yeah, I have. So it's a work in progress, man. So I don't know whether anybody recognises it. It's the exact same jumper as I used last year from a very embarrassing tinsel star jumper. So it's going to be a Jingle Bells Christmas tree. I've only got the first two layers on because honestly, sewing these things on is no mean feat but it's coming on, and it sounds
pretty impressive. That's very good. Because it was tinsel last year, wasn't it?
It was tinsel last year, and it's Jingle Bells this year. So
very good. And so that's a jumper that you wear throughout the year, that you sewing stuff on, and you'll take it back off again.
Yeah, and it's the same one. It's the same one I used last year. It's one I've had for years and years anyway. And so I took the star off, put the tinsel back on the tree last year, and it's Jingle Bells this year. So yeah, work in progress. I'm hoping to have it finished by tomorrow. I didn't realise how long it's going to take me to sew them on, but anyway,
Yeah. Oh well, it's something to do, isn't it? So if anyone is interested in all that stuff, we had a lunchtime live with Lottie from Hubbub yesterday. That's on our Facebook page and also on our website. So there's lots of kind of Christmas kind of tips there in terms of wasting less on clothing this Christmas. But we'll get straight into Give Leeds. So this is our new campaign that we're running for the next kind of month that we want to tell you about. So, I mean, in terms of background, first of all, Gill, just talk to us a little bit about how we kind of came up with this idea.
Yeah, so we looked at all when we did our Zero Waste campaign last year. We were looking at what we could do this year, and one of the really incredible stats is that every year in the UK we spend £42 million on unwanted Christmas gifts, which if we bring that down to a Leeds level, it works out to about £500,000. And I reckon because that's 750,000 people in Leeds, so that's probably an underestimate. And we've all done it. We've all been there at the very last minute thinking, oh, we'll have to get something, and you just buy what you can get your hands on. And those gifts often just end up in the back of a cupboard or a drawer, or preferably donated to a charity shop after Christmas. But we were trying to think of what's really good when we put things out on our social media. So saying to people, look, we waste £500,000 in Leeds on unwanted Christmas gifts, but is to give people an alternative, something else that they can do instead with the money that they might spend on gifts that people don't want. So we were chatting to some of the healthy holiday providers. I don't know if people know what the healthy holiday providers do, but they're essentially community organisations across our city that are funded to provide food and activities for children during the holidays. And we'll all be aware of that situation and how desperately needed that is now because of Marcus Rashford's really high-profile campaign. But actually, we've been doing that in Leeds for a while, for a couple of years, and it's supported by the Community Foundation. And there are organisations in our city doing really amazing things all year round, but particularly during the holidays, and particularly during this Christmas, which is going to be really difficult for a lot of people. So we were
So
chatting to
these are
some of
groups
them.
that have been so these are groups that have, as you say, have been working in I mean, they're established community groups, most of them, and then working specifically on this kind of healthy holidays campaign, supporting families, particularly through the holidays. And I suppose we kind of came across them partly through our school uniform work as well, didn't we? Because some of the uniform that people kind of shared, you know, was some of those groups got involved in that project as well, didn't they?
Yeah, so we were having conversations with them about how we could roll out the school uniform exchange to make it bigger for next year. And you know, these they're very often the very small grassroots community organizations and charities who are doing, you know, really important work in their communities. They're really trusted organizations in their communities, and they're really well placed to do school uniform stuff. But they're also all, this has been a really difficult year for a lot of the communities that they work in. And so these really tiny voluntary led organizations have had to change the way they work in a lot of cases to provide essential services to people in their communities. So it made sense to try and we were trying to think how we could link that up somehow, you know, so why do we not waste this money? What else could we do with it instead?
Yeah, and that's where basically the kind of Give Leeds kind of idea came. And I mean, basically our idea is to try to make it as easy as possible for people to donate or support these charities and community groups online this Christmas, I think, isn't it?
That's exactly it. Because I think people are not aware of them. I mean, I think if you thought you might be donating something this Christmas, you might think of the big national charities or even the big Leeds charities that are very easy for you. They're set up for you to give them money, like St Gemma's Hospice or Martin House Hospice, for example. You know, fantastic charities that will all have suffered from a lack of donations this year. But they're quite high profile. A lot of these tiny organisations, people just don't know about them. So partly what Give Leeds is all about is to showcase them and the work that they do, but also to enable people to support them with whatever they need. So we've done some work with them to, because not all of them had a facility for you to give something to them, and not all of them want money either. You know, some of them, you know, do want money to carry out the work that they're doing this Christmas. Some of them want donations of gifts or other stuff, like Tech Angels want our the old tech that we don't use anymore. And some of them want your time, some of them want volunteers. So the idea with the directory is that we can showcase them and the great work they do, and also help people of Leeds who we know are extremely generous to support them with whatever they need this Christmas.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that would be good to tell us a bit more about that. So I mean, you've been working on this kind of day to day, really. So there's a plan for a basic kind of website, isn't there, where people will be able to find information about these groups and then go directly to them to be able to kind of to fund them.
Yeah, and we were inspired by Leeds, which is so the Leeds Indie Food Directory has expanded to it's now called Support Your Local Indie, and so the directory is of all of the brilliant small independent businesses in Leeds that you can buy from this Christmas to support our local economy, because you know your money spent in our local economy is really meaningful. So we were trying to think about how we could apply that same idea of a directory to Give Leeds. So you will go into the site. The site will launch hopefully later on this week. So you'll go into the site, and it should be quite easy to see who these organisations are, what they do, how you can support them. So that's the general idea of the directory, and it should be really simple for you to get to the point where you understand what your money's doing and how much difference it's going to make in communities.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's an important point to make, isn't it? It's that we are just sharing that information about those groups, and any donations you give, you'll be giving directly to them. But it's just about making it that bit easier for you to find them, because I think, I mean, I read some research, I think from the Charities A Foundation, about how much more important online giving has been this year. You know, people haven't been doing sponsored marathons, or there haven't been cake sales in the office or anything like that. And I think you're dead right that, I mean, every charity is suffered, and we want to encourage people to give to any, you know, any organization that they, you know, that matters to them and they care about. But you're right that the smaller ones probably aren't as quickly able to you know, shift to online fundraising and then promote it. So we're kind of using our platform to get the word out. So there's the and then I suppose and then it's worth letting people know social media as well. So whether you're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, if people look for, just search for Give Leeds, we'll put all the information under this video as well. But you'll find the information there, won't you? So I think we're encouraging people just to share their stories of what they, you know, if you give, let other people know that you've given to a charity that, or community group that's still looking for support.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, just to give you an idea of some of the things, so LS14 Trust will be on there, and they would like some money to help provide food for isolated older people in their community. LS14 is Seacroft, and it's a collaboration of a number of small organisations there who want to come together to do a range of things within their communities this Christmas. So there's examples of things like that. There's the Tech Angels that we talked about, who are wanting donations of our old laptops and tablets and phones, and it's very secure. They will wipe all the data from them before they pass them on. But that is particularly to help children who are isolating from school and don't have access to that, to be able to do their online schoolwork. And the last figure that I had from the council was there were over 6,000 children isolating in Leeds. That's a huge amount, and not all of them will have access to the tech that they need and the broadband that they need. So Tech Angels is on there to support that. There's other organisations who would like donations of gifts, because they're giving those out to children this Christmas.
Yeah, because scrap creative reuse, I think, was one yesterday, wasn't it, that we promoted?
Yeah, that's a collaboration with Families First at the council that work with families who are really struggling across the city. And Louise is amazing at scrap, so she's put together a Christmas creative box of creative goodies. I mean, it just looks, you feel immediately like you want to make something out of all these things. So she's put together a box, she's given a discount, and you can go straight to the link on her website. So you can buy the box, she'll hang on to the box, and she'll pass it on to Families First to be distributed to hopefully 250 families this Christmas. And you're absolutely right, because I don't know about you, but my Facebook is usually full of people saying, "No, I'm running a marathon, I'm doing the colour run, the Race for Life, or whatever," and making donations all throughout the year. And of course, none of that has happened. So charities have really struggled across the board this year, and an online giving and really local, meaningful online giving, I think, is more important than ever.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, yeah, no, so I mean, I think that's a really good kind of summary. So I mean, in terms of, hopefully for people to get involved, we'll share all the information under this post, but look out for Give Leeds on social media. Look out for the Give Leeds hashtag. Look out for giveleeds.org.uk. That'll be coming in the next few days, where there'll be lots of information kind of on there. And yeah, I mean, if you're in a position to give, and going back to our original point, if rather than, if the alternative is wasting a little bit of money on a gift that you think, well, maybe that person doesn't, may not want that after all. This is something that, yeah, there's loads of organisations out there who will really appreciate and benefit from your support.
Yeah, and the other one, just to say, because the Community Foundation have been approached by a number of businesses saying, we're not running our usual Christmas parties this year, or people who work in big offices saying we'd normally do a Secret Santa, where can we put that money instead? So again, that could be, a really great place to spend some of that money and really make a difference in Leeds, would be to donate it to some of these organisations. So that would be great.
And that's good, and that's certainly an offer from us as well, isn't it? If there are organisations out there who just need a little bit of a hand to try and find an organisation that they could support, as you say, maybe spending that money that they were going to spend normally on an office kind of Christmas do, there would be a fantastic alternative in what has been clearly and it still is a massively challenging year for all of us. So
yeah, well, the very first offer we've had is from a small business in Leeds who has offered to buy 50 of the creative Christmas creative scrap packs from Scrap Store.
oh,
So
fantastic.
so shout out to them. Thank you so much for that. And our very first donation.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, shall we leave it there for now? I think what we're hoping is that we'll be able to share a few. I mean, obviously we'll be sharing stories on our social media, won't we? So, and I'd like to think we can get a few people who are running these organisations to do quick kind of 10-minute chats with us, just to introduce what they're doing. Because I mean, as you say, the thing about I've loved what Marcus Rashford has done, and he's done that thing about kind of sharing his platform, hasn't he? And he's clearly, he's got millions and millions of followers and a profile that we haven't got. But at our level, we want to try to do the same, a similar thing to kind of share them. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So if we can do what we can and ask all of the lovely people that we've gathered together around us from Zero Waste Leeds to do the same and spread the word, that would be just really great. Thank you.
Brilliant. Nice one. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Well, Jill, thank you, and thank you to everybody who's been watching, and we'll see you all again soon.
Yeah.
All right. See you. Bye. Bye.